lovely friends. My name is Sunny and welcome to my channel, Sunshine Wellness. On this channel, we share content to help you flourish mind, body, and spirit and live a holistically balanced life. If this sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. Just a little bit about me. I am a certified yoga instructor, a certified Ayurvedic nutritionist and wellness coach, and I really enjoy helping people live their best, healthiest lives. In today's video, we are going to break down coffee and how it affects the three different doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So we know that people love their coffee, and for many of us, having a cup of coffee is a morning ritual. It brings comfort, and it even gives an energy boost when we need it. But just like many other foods that we eat or drinks that we consume, there are times when it can be great for our bodies and times when it acts more like a poison. And so I'm going to explain coffee and how it affects the different doshas in today's video. So first of all, coffee is very heating. Even if it's iced coffee, the qualities of coffee are astringent and drying, and coffee gives a very high dose of the air and fire elements, and it will increase both Vata and Pitta in the body. Now, if you haven't checked out my video on understanding the doshas, check that out and then circle back to this video because it'll kind of explain to you what the doshas are, and then you can understand how coffee will truly affect these doshas differently. So we'll first start with the Vata dosha. And so Vata people may absolutely love coffee, but there are some issues. And so if you have a Vata dominant dosha, then you should limit or avoid coffee to keep Vata in balance. So let me explain. So Vata people are naturally, their element is air and space. And so Vata dominant people are prone to air imbalances like indigestion, constipation, anxiety, restlessness, and too much Vata can manifest in these ways, and you can find yourself having difficulty sleeping or having some digestive issues. And so we know that coffee is very bitter, very astringent, and it has mobile qualities. So that is where the imbalance can come in. Now, coffee can make these symptoms worse. So if you're already having trouble sleeping, if you're already struggling with anxiety or restlessness, then you would want to avoid coffee. Now, if you're in balance and you aren't having any of these issues, meaning your Vata is not increased, then having a cup of coffee is fine, but you would want to limit it to maybe just 1 cup. And then balance it with a cream and make it sweet. So having some creamy sweet coffee is very grounding and very nourishing on the system. Pitta dosha. So I have just one word for the Pitta dosha as it relates to coffee, and that is acid. If you are Pitta dominant, coffee should not be consumed with much frequency, and that is again because the quality of coffee is hot, dry, and bitter, and the acidity can quickly cause heat to accumulate and increase the likelihood of an imbalance for Pitta dominant people. And how does that show up? So it shows up in heartburn and skin imbalances, red eyes, digestive discomfort, acid reflux. And so that's how you know that you're out of balance. And again, if you're already someone with a Pitta dominant dosha and you struggle with irritability, skin imbalances, and especially acid reflux or heartburn, then having acidic coffee is only going to increase that. Now, again, if you are in balance, meaning you are not having any issues, it's okay if you're going to consume your coffee. But for Pitta dominant people, you want to put in your coffee a high quality maple syrup or some organic sugar. Skip the cream. Dairy, It's very acidic as well. So you want to counteract that acidic quality of the coffee. And again, making sure you are not already having pitta imbalances, and then limit your coffee to just 1 cup a day. Now let's talk about the Kapha dosha. So coffee for Kapha dominant people is actually good for you. Coffee definitely is good for the Kapha dosha, and it can actually lower the blood pressure, ease some depression symptoms for people with the Kapha dosha. And so just a tip here though for Kapha dominant people, enjoy your coffee, have a cup daily, and just understand and know that milk or cream can increase congestion, as well as sweeteners can cause some weight gain. So Kapha people who are more dominant in the earth element, and they tend to have more of a heavier structure, you want to make sure that you're very careful, because again, Kapha dosha dominant in earth and water, and so Kapha dosha people are prone to congestion issues, water retention, and things like that. So it's ideal to have your coffee black if your dominant dosha is Kapha. Lastly, I want to talk about the emphasis of having coffee on an empty stomach. Most people wake up early in the morning, and the first thing they do is they have a cup of coffee on an empty stomach. They haven't eaten anything. And it's just important that you understand and know that any issue that you might already be struggling with, having coffee on an empty stomach is going to intensify that. So for example, if you are struggling with a hyperacidic digestive tract, if you're having acid reflux, things like that, then having an acidic cup of coffee on an empty stomach is going to intensify that. If you're struggling with anxiety or issues with restlessness, things like that, having a cup of coffee, which is a jolt of caffeine, is also going to intensify that. So the best tip here is to try having something to eat with your coffee, even if it's just some toast or something like that. Or you can consider waiting until you've had your breakfast to have your first cup of coffee. Then here's another tip. One of the things that have become more popular in recent years is adding a healthy fat to your coffee. So that could be adding a half a teaspoon of coconut oil to your coffee to help to counter that dry acidic effect of coffee. So the coconut oil being a healthy fat would help to balance some of that dryness and some of that acidity. All right. And so then again, when you're eating breakfast in the morning and you're considering having your cup of coffee, remember, always keep your dosha in mind when you are thinking about having coffee. Again, making sure that you have something to eat, something for Vata people, that's a grounding type of breakfast like oatmeal and things like that. Make sure that you follow your dosha. Make sure that, again, if you're a Kapha dominant person, avoiding the dairy with your coffee so that you're not having too much acid. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Comment down below if you're a coffee drinker, and then also let me know what other food or drink that you would like for me to discuss on how it affects your dosha. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, please